Now, Charlie Adelson, his trial already happened. He was already found guilty now, but we never know. He's gonna probably file for an appeal. I don't know if they did already yet or not. I'm sure they did. It's already been 6 months, right? Yeah, 6 or 5 months. So probably filing for an appeal. Is he gonna get it? Oh man, I doubt it, unless there's like some technicality or something like that. But they're after his mom right now, Donna Adelson. She's been arrested. She has her trial set for, I think, like the fall season. And then who knows? Maybe Wendy Adelson will be next. Wendy Adelson is the sister, and she is the wife of the ex-wife of the husband that was ex-wife of the man that was murdered.
Are you mad that Wendy hasn't been charged and you have?
No, I'm mad that I got charged for a crime that I didn't commit.
Do you have any innate anger with Wendy over that fact?
No, not at all.
Are you pissed that she told all that stuff to Jeff Lacoste?
I don't think...
Are you pissed that she brought up your name in the police interrogation multiple times, your parents' names multiple times? Wendy was a snitch here, okay? He acting like he's not mad at Wendy. You lying. Hey, Warden, how are you doing today?
No, not at all.
Are you pissed that she told all that stuff to Jeff Lacoste?
I don't think she said that to Jeff, but I wasn't there.
How did Lacoste know about the celebration dinner?
That we went out to dinner. She got sick, so she may have told someone that she threw up.
And then what, he just added the part about you referring to it as a celebration?
I never referred to it as a celebration dinner. I picked my sister up. I said, where do you want to go to eat? She said she wanted pizza or sushi. I said, I know a great sushi place. We went there. We didn't have reservations. We ended up sitting at the bar for an hour.
Wait, is this where she threw up? Because I want to know the story about the throwing up at the dinner thing. Like, what's the story on that? What's the background story?
We're waiting for our table. She had 2 drinks and got sick.
Oh, the lawyer kind of sounds like Sandra Bullock. Wait, no, I do hear it. Yes, I do hear it.
I said, I know a great sushi place. We went there. We didn't have reservations. We ended up sitting at the bar for an hour waiting for our table. She had 2 drinks and got sick.
She vomited on the dinner table. Or at the dinner table.
Yeah, she got her to the bathroom. But yeah, she doesn't drink alcohol. So those 2 drinks, and I think on an empty stomach, I think she got really sick. But there was no celebration dinner. It was the first time that she actually really left the house since she got...
Okay, so they're calling it celebration dinner. I believe this was weeks after Dan Markel was murdered. This was after Wendy had up and left Fort Lauderdale, brought her 2 kids closer to Miami where the rest of her family... Is it family is or family are? Where the rest of her family is? Guys, I always fuck this shit up. Is it family is or family are? Listen, I'm an Esau kid, okay? Grammar, I'm hard with grammar. Hi, Booty, how are you doing today? How's it going? Oh, okay. Pissed is subjective. How to tell somebody if they are pissed or not. Not completely sure, but apparently Charlie told a graphic. I heard about that, but I don't know if that's true. I heard that was the rumor, but I don't know where that's verified. So Tuco on Twitch says, not completely sure, but apparently Charlie told a graphic joke about how Dan looked after he got shot. I don't know if it's true or not, though. Family is, right? Not family are. Family is, because family is considered like even though within family, it's plural because, okay, family is singular because it's family, right? Even though it encompasses not just one person. I almost get it mixed up. Hi, Christine. How are you doing today? I'm an ESOL student. That's my excuse. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Really sick, but there was no celebration dinner. It was the first time that she actually really left the house since she got back from Tallahassee. She was devastated.
Did you say?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so they're calling it a celebration dinner. Sorry, I don't know if I got interrupted or not. But they call it a celebration dinner, and people are like, "Oh, like what were you celebrating? Were you celebrating that y'all got away with Dan Markel's murder?" So a lot of people were kind of like side-eyeing this one, you know.
But she actually really left the house since she got back from Tallahassee. She was devastated.
Did you say something to her about the murder of Dan Markel right before she vomited?
Absolutely not.
Do you remember what you said right before she vomited?
She was I think she said, I don't feel well. And I say, oh no. And then she threw up.
Before that?
No, I think I said, oh no. And then she threw up.
Before she announced that she was going to be ill?
Right.
Do you remember what the conversation was?
Just how's the food? How's your dinner? I mean, we were probably about halfway through dinner. If you look at the timetable, we weren't there long.
Why did you brag to Jeffrey Lacoste about your connection to the Cuban criminal element?
Never.
Does anyone know who else was at the dinner? Because Charlie's making it seem like it was just him and Wendy. There must have been someone else at the dinner that may have told Georgia or like investigators like, oh, hey, you know, Charlie was making a comment about this. Was there anyone else at the dinner? No. Listen, I get really queasy with vomit shit, okay? Ugh. Shut up.
Why did you brag to Jeffrey Lacoste about your connection to the Cuban criminal element?
Never
He's
said
a
that to
loser.
Jeffrey Lacoste.
So he's making that up?
If he said it, I never said it.
Well, you were in here when he said it, weren't you?
I heard him say it, yeah. But I never said that to him.
Hi, Caitlin.
On one of these calls, and it's in the context of talking about Dave and Wendy's relationship with Dave, you tell your mom that you've already gone above and beyond for Wendy. Was that a reference to having her ex murdered?
No, that's me getting tired of this Dave stuff. I mean, Dave's a great guy. I mean,
Who the fuck is Dave? Is Dave another guy that Wendy was dating? Was this after Jeff Lacoste, I guess? Or is Dave the guy that... Remember how Jeff Lacoste said that while he was in a relationship with Wendy, he always had an inkling that she was cheating on him and that she was being very dishonest about who she may have been dating, maybe seeing other people and all that stuff. What's his name, Dave? Or is Dave just a completely different person? Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, y'all. I didn't wear green yesterday, but I gave Shiro, he's wearing the little Krispy Kreme green bandana. He still has it on right now. Oh, you're on crutches. Oh, I hope you feel better. How long does he be in crutches for? Do you have like a cast and all that stuff? I hear cast sucks because it gets really itchy and, oh, God. I can't imagine.
everyone who meets him likes him.
Murdered?
No, that's me getting tired of this Dave stuff. I mean, Dave's a great guy. I mean, everyone who meets him likes him. He's not only super successful, but he's very low-key, like t-shirts and jeans kind of guy. And he loved my sister's kids. I mean, if you listen to The Wire, the point I was making is not how successful he is. The point I was making is that my nephews farted on him, and he thought it was funny and didn't bother him. And he also has 3 young kids, the same ages as my sister's 2 young kids. They actually met in line when my sister was registering the kids for school, and they've been friends for years. So I thought it was a great opportunity for my sister to have a great guy in her life. And I was getting sick and tired of Dave calls. And The Wire started in April. My sister's birthday's in April. Dave's birthday's in April. Yeah,
see, like, I get what he's doing here. He's trying to be likable. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be really chill and cavalier about this whole thing. But, I mean, from the jury's perspective is like, motherfucker, you're like up there because you're accused of hiring people to murder one of your ex-family members. And then you're kind of just up there like, I don't know, just being super chill about it. I don't know. To me, I would just be like, I'm super sus of you.
So you got a ton of Dave chatter on this case. But believe me, I'd go crazy if I was talking about Dave like this all year long.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of master manipulators are just like, I don't know, it's like within their personality, like it's like flawless, right? They get people to do what they want. They're able to convince people. Like you saw how he was working fucking, what was her name? The Filipino chick, Catherine McBanwell, right? You saw how he was working her, okay? And she was like, oh yeah. Like, and he completely had like control of the situation, control the conversation. It was when he was trying to get her to, it was after the bump. After the bump, he met up with Catherine McBanwell, and he was like, hey, like, I want you to do this. I want you to go to those 2 hitmen, and I want you to tell them, ask the family or something like that. Like, if it was them that, fuck, what was it again? It was like something super specific. But then he's like, but don't make it seem like it's coming from me. Make it seem like, you're asking because you heard it from your friend, but not us. Like, and she was like, okay. Like, he was completely, like, manipulating her, and she's just so stupid to go along with it. Oh, yoy. Like, I feel like people like this are so good at sniffing out other people who are just kind of like, what's a nice word to say? I don't want to say brain dead, but like, how like you find someone that like that's weak and then you're like, okay, I can manipulate them. I can control them. I feel like these type of people, they're so good at finding people like that. And that's why they get other people to fall for their fucking charm and all that shit. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to see, there's this another woman that testified who was like one of his ex-girlfriends. I think she's Thai. When June went up there and testified, when she was done with the testimony, I saw the ending where she was like, oh, hi, Charlie, as if she was like still under her spell or something like that. I don't know. I kind of want to see June's testimony. I wouldn't be surprised if she was still in all of this guy, even though they probably weren't together for the past couple years or something like that. And even though she's up there testifying because he's accused of murder, I don't know. Like she went up there, she came off and she's like, oh, hey, Charlie. Like, I don't know. They were so like waving at each other, smiling.
So that's a no. You did not reference having her ex murdered?
Absolutely not.
When you said
no.
You've already gone above and beyond?
No, that was me getting sick of dealing with the Dave stuff. As great of a guy as he is, I was still getting sick of it.
When the $1 million offer was conceived, do you recall whose idea that was?
My parents.
Why was the relocation worth $1 million?
Well, it was actually I was going to pay a third, so I only looked at it as that way. Why was it worth it?
That's the question.
Because it was going to help my sister out, and it was going to be a.
I think it's funny how they were going to pay Dan Markel like $1 million so Wendy can leave him and move to Miami. And Charlie said he was going to pay a third of $1 million. Okay. What's funny is that from his perspective, he's saying that like, oh, you know, these people were trying to blackmail me. They were trying to blackmail me for, what was it again? It was like a quarter. Was it a quarter or a third of $1 million? I don't know. I feel like if you're blackmailing someone, you just be like, oh, $1 million, $1 million. Instead of being like, oh no, I only want like a third of $1 million or a quarter of $1 million. Like you would just be like, hey, just give me $1 million. This guy's rich.
It was going to give her a good opportunity for a good job down here, and she was going to be around family, and family's important, so that's why.
Isn't it true that financially you came out ahead on this deal as opposed to if you had coughed up the third of the $1 million offer?
How in the world did I come up ahead? This is the craziest
Financially,
thing.
you paid $138,000, then you paid $2,000 a month plus the $1,000.
Okay, sorry, $130,000. But didn't they say that they want? Oh, it was a $250,000. Sorry, I think it was a $250,000 or something like that.
$1,000 payroll amount. You're still about over $100,000 ahead financially than if you had coughed up the $333K.
No, I would have been better off paying. I mean, first of all, I never paid for murders. This is a crazy question. But paying $3,000 a month for life is not anything anybody wants to do.
I didn't say anything about paying for a murder. I said you paid $138,000, which you did.
I got extorted for $330,000.
And then you paid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was extorted for $330,000, which is pretty much almost a third. Almost.
But you didn't pay the $330,000.
Right, because I didn't have it. I had to clean it out my safe, and that was what was in my safe that night.
All right. Can we agree that Wendy was stressed out about the issues surrounding her divorce?
I think the divorce caused stress in her life, yes.
And
I don't know what. I don't understand how he thinks people are going to believe this, right? Or why he thought people was going to believe this. Because if you're a hitman, if you're extorting someone, hey, I just want a third of $1 million. What a weird number to say, a third of $1 million. I feel like he's been coached by his legal team. I think he was severely coached by his mama. His mama. I think he had some practice with his mom, you know, getting their timelines right. I don't know, maybe the dad was involved, perhaps.
All right. Can we agree that Wendy was stressed out about the issues surrounding her divorce?
I think the divorce caused stress in her life, yes.
And you were hearing about it from your mother, weren't you?
Yeah, I would hear.
Wendy's totally stressed out. Yesterday was a rough one, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I said it before. So my sister would tell my mom a story. I'd be sitting in the car driving. My mom would be talking to me and telling me the latest story of the day. And that's how I found out a lot.
And then on 2/19 of 14, Donna texts you again to tread lightly with Wendy and refers to Dan Markel as an asshole and a fucker, right?
Sorry. You made me laugh. Sorry.
That's what I'm here for. Is that what happened? That text?
Did my mom use a foul word to describe him?
Yes, sir. Asshole and fucker, to be specific.
Sorry. She used a curse word, correct.
Is that pretty strong language for your mom, or is that how she speaks?
I mean, it is pretty strong language, but I think I've been called a lot worse.
No, not Bill Murray. He's already guilty. He's probably going to file for an appeal that's probably pending or some shit right now. Hey, we have had some dumb as fuck hitmen. Cousin Eddie. Listen, I think the moron in that situation, I honestly think Murdoch was more of a moron than Cousin Eddie, all right? I didn't notice during the trial, but his left eye, this one right here? I don't know, maybe some eyeshadow or something like that. Stress, couldn't sleep, any of that stuff. Charlie is delusional. Him and his mom are delusional for thinking people will believe their bullshit. My mom used the curse word. She used the curse word. You just use curse words too. So
was Wendy less stressed? Was Wendy less stressed out once all this litigation was over?
No, she was a million times more stressed out.
Was she better off financially?
There may have been some, but not much. I don't think so.
Was she able to stop paying her $800 an hour divorce lawyers?
Yes.
Did she get $2.7 million in benefits for her children, plus $4,800 a month for the boys' benefit?
No, as far as I know, that money was in trust for and it's controlled by Dan Markel's sister. So none of that money. You keep saying it like the money went to her. The money's in trust for the kids, and that money never went to her.
Some of it went to her, and some of it was in trust for the kids, right?
I don't know the breakdown, but I know the 90-something% of what you're talking about is in trust, and it's in trust for the children. It's not for her benefit.
Right. It's for the benefit of the boys, but it has to come through her because they're children, right?
Well,
it has she gets disbursements, right?
It has to go through the executor of the trust. And my sister's not the executor of the trust.
No, sir. I'm not saying she is. When the executor of the trust disperses money for the benefit of the boys, it gets dispersed to Wendy, right?
See, you know more than I know.
Dude, is he a little kid laughing at someone cussing? He's trying to be likable.
Sleeping after the murder?
After I was extorted, for sure.
Did Katie text you on 12/19 of 15? Sorry, we have problems sleeping and shit. We do have a lot of weight on our shoulders.
Oh no!
Did she text me that?
Did she text you that?
I mean, she may have, but it sounds about right.
Do you want to look at the text?
I can look at it, sure.
Yes, show us the text. So remember, Katie extorted him, and he was like, hey, you know what? Stay over at my place. Sleep over here. Come hang out with me. He gave her the money, and then the next day, he texted her, was like, hey, you know, how's the pool? What have you been up to? How are you doing? And this is after she extorted him for money.
You can two of this exhibit, and it's got a little box around it.
Hi, CMB. How are you doing today? Yo, speaking of Bill Murray. Hi, Joe, by the way. How are you doing today? Speaking of Bill Murray. You guys ever seen that movie Lost in Translation? Dudes, I didn't realize how young Scarlett Johansson was in that movie. Because Bill Murray was probably like, what, in his 40s? Maybe 50s? Plus. I think he was like 50s. He must be in his 50s. And then Scarlett Johansson, I think she was like, wasn't she like, I don't know, 17, 18, 19 or something? Like super, super young.
If that refreshes your recollection, the question is, did she send it?
Yeah.
I want to see the text messages.
Go over a little bit some of the payments or gifts that you gave to Catherine Magbanua. We've heard a lot about her being put on the payroll.
Oh yeah, she was 17 years old. Oh, I mean, this was Hollywood back in the day, okay? Who was the other one? There was another one. Was it Kristen Dunst? Who was it? Was it Hilary Duff? Oh my God, there was another actress, sorry. I think she was 14, 15 years old when she was doing a movie with this guy who was like, he was like an adult. He was like a grown-ass dude. And there's a scene where they kissed or something like that. I mean, I'm sure there's many of those, but who am I thinking of? Not Hilary Duff. Who am I thinking? Oh, no. Not Buffy either. No, sorry. No, I'm thinking of like the super inappropriate relationships where they had like the actress like make out with like this dude who's like a fucking adult. Oh God, there was like so many of those. Yeah, back in the day, it was like teenagers, 16, 17, 18. They'd be dating people that were like 10 years older, it's a different time back then. But I like The Professional. I love that movie. The Professional was good. Thora Birch and American Beauty. Oh, maybe. Dude, American Beauty, I used to love that movie, but that movie's like, I don't know, it's like so fucking weird. I don't think I could ever watch it again. I used to love it, but so weird. Was it Kristen Dunst? I'm pretty sure all of them have probably done it before. No, like there was like a specific movie I was thinking about. Let me think.
The Adelson Institute, and she made this demand to you when you met her to give her the first extortion payment on the payment plan. Is that correct?
She didn't make a demand.
Hi, Carolyn.
When I gave her the $3,000 for her friend, she asked me if I could do her a favor and put her on payroll for $1,000 a month so that she could get insurance for her kids. She was going to cash the check, and the money was still going to her friend, so that money wasn't going to her. She was getting insurance for her
And
kids.
Did you believe her that she would give the money from the paychecks to the friend?
Alexa Debbie from Euphoria. I only know her from Euphoria. She's like the crazy bitch. Oh yeah, Maddie. Wait, what happened to Euphoria? Did they ever renew that, or what happened to Euphoria? Are they still making that? That TV show was fucking wild.
I believe what she was saying to me, yeah.
Isn't it true that Catherine Magbanua actually asked you to place her on the payroll back in June prior to this extortion effort?
I don't know if I put her on payroll. She asked me if I could put her something when I was dating her, put her something on the office so she could get insurance. But I never did.
And that was in June.
Yeah, I remember she'd asked me about it before, but I never did anything.
Oh, season 3? Oh, okay. I don't even know where they're going with that TV show.
In June 24th of 2014, she says, "Baby, I'm going to need help on the employment info. I have to send to DCF for my kids' insurance. Also, if I have to end up moving later on, I need to show I'm working for you, or else I won't be able to get an apartment." To which you respond, "No problem." Remember that?
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking she was asking about payroll. I think she was asking just to say that she worked there. So it's on a letter saying that she was employed. But that doesn't say anything about writing checks to her.
And that request was made in between the 2 trips that the killers made.
That request, well, she asked me if I could do that for her while I was dating her, and I never even did it.
No, that wasn't it. In Leon Professional, the 14-year-old Natalie Portman was having a relationship with a 45-year-old. No, she was not having a relationship with him. She was, her family was really fucked. She didn't have a good father figure, mother figure. So then, like, when she had someone that, like, took care of her under her wing, I think she, like, you know how, like, you hear about those things where, like, sometimes people, like, inappropriately will, like, have, like, emotions that are, like, inappropriate towards an adult, where it's like, it's not like they think it's like romantic, but really it's not. It's just like they've never had someone to look up to before, take care of them, because he didn't reciprocate any of that shit. She was saying that shit. Yeah, she was, but he didn't reciprocate. I was talking about like the movies where there was like a 30-year-old man or 40-year-old, 50-year-old man that's like making out, kissing, or like pursuing like an actress who's like, you know, in her teens and stuff like that. Like that, like, oh God, but that was just like back in the day. What? There was sex scene? No, there was. Oh my God, were there? Shut up. I had to look this up. I didn't know about this. I watched the movie a couple months ago. It was so good. You're going to ruin it for me. Hold on a second. No way. Can you leave me an article in the Discord? Oh God. Listen, I didn't know anything about this. The cutscenes, okay? Link it to me in Discord.
And did she ask if you could do
How
that?
am I supposed to Google this without looking weird?
In between the 2 trips that the killers made?
I didn't know when they went up, but I found out later that they went up in June.
All right, so that email would have been sent, or I'm sorry, it's a text. That text would have been sent prior to what you're calling is the first layer of the extortion.
That text was sent to me while I was dating her, but I never.
Prior to the first layer of extortion?
The text was sent in June.
Prior to the first layer of extortion?
Before I was extorted, yeah. Before I broke up with her.
And you say several times on the wire that she was cleaning at the office. Was she really cleaning?
No, she never worked for us.
She was doing some type of cleanup for you, wasn't she?
No.
Wait, I think they had that in the original, didn't they? Hold on. It's talking about how Natalie Portman was wearing a dress and then she was like trying to seduce him or something like that. But I just remember he just wasn't into it. He was just like, no, like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't Google it. I'm Googling it right now. I'm Googling it right now. Wait, there's the director's cut. Oh my God, we could watch it on YouTube. Hold on.
Sick of watching you sleeping on your chair. We're gonna share the bed.
I remember this part.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just like sleeping next to each other. And he's just like sleeping there. He's like, okay. Is this the one? There's no sex scene. Okay, there's no sex scene. Hi, Miss Fantastic. How are you doing today? Hey, Andrea, how's it going? Kristen Dunst. Oh, yeah. I watched a Kristen Dunst thing. I want to rewatch that Interview with Vampire. I love that movie with Tom Cruise and was it Brad Pitt? Oh my God, that movie was like, I don't know why that movie like really fucked with me. Also, the scene with Kristen Dunst, like, wasn't she a crazy little vampire kid or something like that?
What's the purpose of keeping Katie happy? Was she gonna sick the Latin Kings on you if you made her unhappy?
She was protecting me. I didn't know what would happen, and she was keeping my mind like when that extortion ever went up, and I thought that she wasn't part of it, and she was protecting me. Usually extortion goes up. It always gets ratcheted up from what I've heard.
Usually extortion goes up. Oh, really? What are you, a fucking expert on this now? Do you have friends that were extorted? Have you been extorted before? How do you know? Or do you just watch a lot of movies? I bet you him and his mother, Donna, were sitting around watching movies trying to get like, okay, let's watch The Godfather. Let's see how they run things. Okay, we're going to copy them word for word, T for T.
What's the fear of not keeping her happy is what I'm trying to understand.
Well, I could get killed, or the people who were extorting me could come rob me. And I didn't get killed. I didn't get robbed. The extortion never went up. I thought she was really protecting me.
If that's the case, why not just, I mean, you're complying with everything they've asked you to do, right?
I'm doing everything that was asked to do, and yeah.
So why reach out and say, hey, can I get you a trip to Key West to go with that extortion money?
I never said, can I get you a trip to Key West?
You didn't say you were trying to get them the owners.
That almost possessed Corey for a second. I get possessed by Elaine a lot. Keep that out of the way, please. Maybe that's where my fall cravings come from.
Get you a trip to Key West.
You didn't say you were trying to get them the owner's cottage. Maybe it's not in Key West. Trying to get them the owner's cottage because it's the nicest, $380 a night. The postcard inn. Do you recall all those conversations?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she'd actually asked me weeks before the bump, because I had this connection at a place called the Moorings that I could get like a really great price at a really affordable price for how nice the place is. And I said I was going to make some calls and help her out and get it. And then I ended up giving her $300 for the, when she picked up that bag at my house, I put $300 in it and I got her a hotel room.
Also, why would Katie extort the Adelsons for Harvey's old piece of shit car? Why not extort the Adelson for all the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris that Charlie was driving? Like, why would she be like, hey, like, let me extort you for that 1998, whatever the fuck, what was it again? Like a Lexus or something that Harvey had? Like, it was like some old ass car, okay? Why wouldn't she extort them for a fucking Lamborghini? Hello? He probably has a G-Wagon or something like that. Like, go after that, not some old ass crusty car.
Yes, you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I do.
And she didn't want the trip. In the text messages, she's saying, like, no thanks, and you're kind of forcing it down her throat. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because actually, it's funny, at that time, in The Wire, I was trying to see if Katie and him were together or they weren't together. So that's why I kept asking, how are things? Are you guys okay?
No, you were not. It did not seem like you were inquiring to see if Katie and him were working together. That's fucking bullshit. Oh, my Lord. Did Kristen Dunst make out with Tom or Brad in the movie Vampire? I don't remember any of that. Wait, what? Brad Pitt turns my tummy and Tom Cruise is just a cult skank? I don't know anything about Tom Cruise's personal life, but I like him in the movies. But all that like personal shit, I don't know nothing about that. I just remember when I was a kid, I remember he was like, I think like the first time we heard about Tom losing his marbles is when he was like jumping on the couch or some shit like that. I don't know. Yeah, David. Oh, okay. You know what I watched recently? I watched Britney Spears movie. Fuck, have you guys ever seen that movie? Crossroads. I watched it recently, and then I looked up Britney Spears. I didn't realize that she shaved her head when she was like in her mid-20s. Like she was only like 25 years old or something like that. So crazy to me because like I feel like when you're a kid, right, and like adults do these things, you always think they're like way older. She was like in her mid-20s. I was so young. Tom Cruise is fucking nuts. Yeah, I don't know any of the crazy stuff. Wait, who did she make out with? She kissed Brad? What? That movie's on my watch list. I'll report back to you guys. Add some makeup and Charlie could be some... Charlie could be Beetlejuice.
Because if they were fighting, it was making me think more and more that the reason she was avoiding me was because she found out that he was the one who was doing the second extortion again. So I was trying to figure out if it was him and if she was lying to me. And
remember, guys, the second extortion was how much again? What was it, like $5,000 or like 10 grand most maybe? The second extortion was... How do you go from $333,000 like $333 to, okay, I just want $5,000? Does that add up, Charlie? Does that really add up? That makes no fucking sense. I feel like the next extortion would be somewhere similar to the first number or maybe even higher. Not like, oh, I just want a measly 10 grand. Oh, boy. She had lost custody of her kids and then shaved her head. Oh, is that what happened? Oh, man. Yeah, I just remember hearing about her... Wait, did she lose custody of her kids then with K-Fed? I always thought she shaved her head was because paparazzi was going after her. There was all these like, because back then, like, do you guys remember like Perez Hilton, the tabloids? Bro, they went after you for everything. Looks, weight, if you're too fat, if you're too skinny, if you're ugly, if you had no makeup on, like all this crazy shit. Like back then, like it was a fucking... I mean, it's so bad now, but like back then it was like really, really fucking atrocious. She went off the deep end in her affairs and up in a conservatorship. She lost what? Wait, she lost both boys? Wait, did she lose her kids to K-Fed or did her family have custody of her kids? Oh, I had no idea about this. It's crazy because I always heard about the Britney Spears stuff, but I never really like looked into it when I was a kid. And so now that I'm older, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that shit. That's like it happened. I remember like so vaguely. K-Fed, she still doesn't have custody. Really? Oh my God, I didn't know any of that stuff. I only follow some of the recent Britney stuff. Like I know that she didn't realize that she can get out of a conservatorship. So she petitioned it. They granted it to her. She married some guy, Les Asghari. I don't know if they're together or not. And then apparently one of her crazy like ex-husbands, I think they were only married for a little bit, but then they had the marriage annulled. Like was it in Vegas or something like that? He like live stream showed up at her fucking house when he was getting married to, was it Sam Asghari? Like something like that. And I was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know. It's so crazy. Her dad gave K-Fed custody. Wait, how are her kids now? What? I had no idea. I actually never really thought about that. I thought she had custody of her kids. She lost custody. Her aunt passed away. Hi, Tam. How are you doing today? Day I'm late to the party, but I'm happy to see you guys all nonetheless. Hi, Tam. How was your weekend? When I was 22, I almost got fired for not serving Britney alcohol on her 19th birthday. I was a bartender on Bourbon Street. I would just run away. The boys didn't want to be with her. K-Fed gets like $30K a month for those kids. I remember that instead of helping her, getting her mental help, they laughed at her, called her crazy. Yeah. I mean, how old was I when, how much older is Britney than me? Yeah, because I remember when we heard about the news, I think we were in like middle school or high school. We're like, oh yeah, she's fucking crazy. Like, oh my gosh, she shaved her head. Like, you know, just like laughing and stuff. Like, I don't know, times were different back then. Okay, we didn't understand mental health and all that stuff. But yeah, I completely remember that. Like the media outlets, they went hard on her. They're like 16 and then opted out. Oh wow, I don't know any of this stuff. Maybe I'll read her biography book. I added her biography book into my Libby thing where you can rent books online from like the library, but I haven't gotten it yet. I'm still on the wait list. Oh gosh. Well, I was laid out on the weekend, some kind of mystery, but oh no. Oh Tam, I hope you're doing okay. I have a friend who's like also like sick right now as well. I don't know if Lady's here. Lady, hope you're feeling better. Her kids are thankless brats who have been brainwashed into not respecting her, but won't say no to like a luxurious lifestyle and go live with a loser dad. Oh, I don't know any of that stuff. Wow, that's crazy.
In this case, she says, I don't want to do anything. And you say, you know what? F that. You're going there. You're going to have a good time.
For sure. I was trying to do nice things for her.
And then did you pay for a trip or offer to pay for a trip to Santo Domingo for Catherine Magbanua and Sigfredo Garcia to visit his parents?
I didn't know who she was going with, but I paid for it. You're talking about airline tickets?
Yes.
She called me up. She had an emergency. Something happened. She booked tickets for the wrong date. I had no idea who in the family she was going with. And she had no money. And I remember I was in Chicago. I was at a friend's wedding, and I took out my credit card, and I gave her the credit card number and let her book tickets. I thought she was going with her kids.
I feel like this is so rehearsed because, I mean, a lot of this happened over 10 years ago, and he just knows every detail to the T, you know? Which is like, I guess it's good to practice, right? Before you go up there. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is just like fabrications as well. Oh my God, Corey, the book is going to shock you. She made an allegation about Justin. I think I heard about that. Yeah, I think I heard about that. How many pages is the book? I don't know. I might just read it.
So is that a yes? You paid for
Oh, yeah, no, I
Santo
remember that well.
Domingo. So
For
go
sure.
quicker if we can just
I'm sorry.
answer the question.
What's the objection?
Argumentative.
Overruled.
Did you offer to buy Catherine Magbanua and her mom a cruise?
Yes, Katie had mentioned to me that she always wanted to be able to take her mom on a cruise.
Man, this sounds like hush, hush money. Keep Katie happy so she fucking doesn't rat you out in the fucking future. Keep her husband happy or her ex-husband, wherever the fuck they are, okay? Her baby daddy happy. Keep them happy so they don't rat you out. They don't turn against you. This is just some hush, hush money, man.
So I offered, but she never took me up on it.
Did you call in prescriptions for Catherine Magbanua?
She was a patient of record at my office.
Did you pay for a meal service for Catherine Magbanua?
Yeah, I did.
The book ended Justin Timberlake's career. What career? Does he still have a career? Oh, wait, sorry. That was really mean of me. I did watch him in a movie that I liked recently. Fuck, I hated his character, though. He was such a dickhead. There was this movie that came out on Netflix recently. It was about a detective who was investigating some murders or some shit like that. I think Justin Timberlake was in it, and I think he was the bad guy or something. It was a really good movie. I really liked it. Yeah, I think he was in it. It's not long. I read in a couple hours. Oh, you're a slow reader. Sorry, I'm like, we're diverting so much. I found this YouTube channel, and this woman teaches you how to read faster. And she says what you have to do is you have to keep your eye in the middle of the page and then use your peripheral to read the left and the right side. I tried doing that and it was like really fucking hard. I wonder, does anyone else in the chat know how to do that? Because apparently it's something you can train yourself to do and read faster.
Did you pay for car repairs for her?
Yeah, all this stuff is making me think she was broke. So yes, you're right.
Did you offer that she could use your Range Rover anytime?
I said she could borrow the car, sure.
Did she talk about getting a boat and you offered to help her get a boat?
Borrow my Range Rover, but no, drive my dad's old ass crusty car.
Never offered to help her get a boat. I offered to help her look for a boat.
Did you pay for the breast augmentation?
No.
No part of the breast augmentation?
Not at all.
I thought he did. Oh, Georgia, you better get the receipts. I heard that he bought new boobies for her.
So when she's saying at the same time she's the day of the breast augmentation, can I just put it on the credit card? Is she referring? Can I just put it on your credit card? Is she referring to something else, some other expense?
I have no idea what she's referring to. But I did not pay for her boob job.
What about this birthday gift for Sigfredo Garcia? What was the bonsai tree in the bag? What was that all about?
Oh, she had asked me, and it's on a wire. It's on 420, where she says, "Can you get me some bud from Bud?" My next door neighbor's Bud, and she asked me if I could get some marijuana from my next door neighbor for her. So that's what when I said I have a bonsai tree for you. She asked me, and I got her a little bit of marijuana from my next door neighbor for her.
And you said, I don't know what a married man with kids would want for his birthday, but you did your best. I did my best.
I was being completely, by the way, I was being completely sarcastic. I never would get Sigfredo Garcia a present in my life.
And you thought you hit it out of the park with the weed and the gift card. Did you say that?
Well, give me a little more context.
The context is you don't know what a married man with kids would want for his birthday, but you did your best, and you think you hit it out of the park.
No, I was being completely sarcastic because she had asked me for that marijuana 2 weeks earlier, and I gave it to her, and then I was joking around when I gave it to her. I didn't want him to think that I was hooking up with her, so I started to joke around.
Ew, who was the screenwriter? What's the name of the screenwriter? He sounded like he was infatuated. I speed read a whole page at once. It was like a street sign. If I need details to go back to the spot, this also helps retention because it's called because of recall, like photographic memory. Yeah, I have to show you guys a video because she was explaining it and I was like, I can't do this. This is too hard. She was like, you just have to focus in the middle and then use your peripherals on the left and right to read it. And then that's how you speed read. And then apparently people who are like super like fucking amazing students, that's what they do for when they take exams. I'm like, because I read like this. I'm like, left to right, left to right, left to right.
Round about it. And then I was like, maybe you can just tell him it was for me because I didn't want him to think that I'm hooking up with Katie and that's why I gave it to her.
Can we agree in general that it's important to maintain positive feelings between co-conspirators? If you're a co-conspirator with someone in a crime, you want to...
Wait, can I suck you guys into conspiracy land for a second? Anyone else following the Kate Middleton stuff? I'm just curious. What? Speed reading is not cheating? Who said it was cheating?
Keep positive relationship with that person. Will you agree with that?
I'm not a co-conspirator with her.
Okay, I'm saying in general. Can you agree in general that co-conspirators in a crime want to stay friendly with each other?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a co-conspirator with her.
That's not what she's asking, Charlie. Answer the question. She had to listen less. Oh, until they refuse to go back to her. Gotcha. Just happens to be more. It just happens the more you read for content and partially ruin my pleasure reading, though. I have to put a paper off the paragraph and read line by line when I pleasure read now. Wait, that's so interesting. I want to learn how to do it. It's so unhinged on Twitter. I was watching this YouTube video that was like capping it. It seems pretty unhinged on, I haven't been on Twitter, but on TikTok. Where I'm just like, okay, I want to go over it with you guys because that was kind of funny. But they're like zooming in on the zippers, like the color shirt that she was wearing, and they like changed the colors. And I'm like, wait, what? No way. I don't know. The Kate Middleton stuff is kind of crazy. I'm a bit entertained by it. All right, co-conspirators.
In a crime, want to stay friendly with each other.
I'm not a co-conspirator with her.
All right, can't agree to that. If a co-conspirator develops a motive to harm another one, that could be bad, right?
Co-conspirator. Say it again.
Say, husband and wife do a murder together. And then 10 years later, they've gotten away with it, but 10 years later, they fall out. That could be a problem. Somebody might start talking, right?
I was never part of a murder.
Were these gifts, these things that you provided to Catherine Magbanua and her mother and Sigfredo Garcia payment for the murder?
Okay, I never got Sigfredo a gift in my life. The guy absolutely hates me. He wants to kill me. He stalked me. He extorted me. Like, that was being completely sarcastic, and sometimes I make some bad jokes, but that's... Even when I wrote He wanted to take me deep sea fishing. I knew he wanted to kill me. Like, you have that text too.
What?
I didn't think we were going deep sea fishing.
On April 6th of 2015.
Wait, is he just making shit up? Do we have evidence of Sigfredo wanting to take him deep sea fishing?
Did you receive a text from Catherine Magdanova that reads, "Next time, don't be such a dick to someone who has done something for you"?
Yeah, she's protecting me, and she's mad. She's mad at me over something.
Are these gifts what it took to secure her silence for so long?
No, absolutely not. I was never trying to get her silence. I was hoping she'd tell the truth.
Was your dad's birthday in between the two trips that the killers took?
Yeah, my dad's birthday is July 5th.
And what birthday was that for him?
It was his 70th birthday party.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about the texting between you and your mom about the birthday. And she texts you on March 4th of 2014 and says she can't talk now, but she'll call when she goes to the bathroom in Gainesville and has privacy. She tells you to erase that text after you read it. Why did she have you erase that text?
Okay, if you look at the records, I never erased the text.
But why did she ask you? If you know, you may not know.
Maybe.
Oh, this is the trial where the jury is going to convict him. It's the same trial. Hi, Leela. How are you doing today? Hello, hello.
She's afraid my dad's looking at her phone and find out about the president. It made no sense to me. That's why.
Wait, what?
I was like,
wait. Why would the dad look through his daughter's phone? Wait, what? Is this more bullshit? Okay, hold on.
I was never trying to get her silence. I was hoping she'd tell the truth.
Was your dad's birthday in between the two trips that the killers took?
Yeah, my dad's birthday is July 5th.
And what birthday was that for him?
It was his 70th birthday party.
All right, so there's been a lot of talk about the texting between you and your mom about the birthday. And she texts you on March 4th of 2014 and says she can't talk now, but she'll call when she goes to the bathroom in Gainesville and has privacy. She tells you to erase that text after you read it. Why did she have you erase that text?
Okay, if you look at the records, I never erased the text.
But why did she ask you? If you know, you may not know.
Maybe she's afraid my dad's looking at her phone and find out about the president. It made no sense to me. That's why I was like, I didn't erase anything.
That makes no sense, Charlie. Oh my God, dude. This is like when like your significant other's like cheating on you and they're just pulling all the bullshit lies. And you know it's bullshit because the fucking answers don't make sense.
How is you erasing the text going to prevent your dad from seeing it on your mom's phone?
What adult parent is going to go through their adult children's text messages? And Harvey, who was already 70 years old, does he even know how to do that?
My dad looked at my mom's phone, then he'd see the text and maybe know she's planning for his birthday.
You weren't with Dad, she was with Dad, just to clarify.
Yeah, she was with my dad.
And the text that she asked you to erase, that particular text didn't say anything about a birthday or paella. Can we agree on that?
No, not. But I knew what it was about.
Right. 20 minutes later, she texts again and asks something about Dad's birthday. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know we were trying to plan a surprise cruise. That was the original idea.
Okay, and the paella is mentioned elsewhere, not in this particular thread that we're talking about now.
Yeah, we
was paella the big birthday gift?
Yeah, I paid for the catering for the whole party.
Okay. Then 3 months later on...
Oh, man, I sense a little bit of frustration.
June 8th, just after midnight...
Even he must surely realize how absurd this shit really sounds.
You text her, quote, still working on Dad's birthday present. Was that in reference to the paella guy?
Possibly what I was also getting was a present. I mean, it's been 10 years, so I don't know exactly what I got him 10 years ago on his birthday.
And then at
what
1 a.m. I'm sorry, you weren't done.
No, or what I was thinking about getting him.
And then at 1 a.m., Mom texts you back, I know you'll, and I think she was in Israel, so that might account for the time, but she texts you, quote, I know you'll come through for me. Is that what she said?
That's what the text said, yeah.
Can we agree the timing of these texts is consistent with being sent the day after the killers got home from their failed June murder trip?
No, it's consistent with a few weeks before my dad's birthday and trying to figure out what we're going to get him.
Oh, man. Look at him. Like, the little gestures that he does. Like, oh, can't believe it, Georgia. Like, you're such an idiot. Like, oh, duh, obviously. Like, Charlie, shut up. This makes you look so dumb. You know what? At least he's going full send with this whole acting shit, okay?
She texts you, quote, I know you'll come through for me. Is that what she said?
That's what the text said, yeah.
Can we agree the timing of these texts is consistent with being sent the day after the killers got home from their failed June murder trip?
No, it's consistent with a few weeks before my dad's birthday and trying to figure out what we're going to get him.
Why didn't you go to Dan's funeral?
Oh, exactly. Why didn't you? You surely must have known that they're going to ask you that question. Why didn't you show up? What were you doing, Charlie? What's the answer that he's gonna give? Is he gonna say, "Oh, you know, since my family were all gone, I was the only one there to run the practice. Oh, you know, like I was really busy. You know, I had plans already to go outside of town. Oh, the flights were too expensive. Oh no, it was like too stressful. I couldn't go there. Blah blah blah." Like, what's the excuse that Charlie's gonna give? Because Charlie does this thing where he looks to the side, maybe where his lawyer is sitting. He's like, "Oh fuck." I don't know. Did he not have this part memorized?
Consistent with a few weeks before my dad's birthday, trying to figure out what we're going to get him.
Why didn't you go to Dan's funeral?
In Canada?
I think there were some in Tallahassee
Oh, he's trying to play dumb. Was he getting stun locked here?
and in Canada as well.
I know there was
but did you go to either?
There was a memorial service here.
Did you go to that?
No, I didn't attend. I knew what had happened to him. There's no way I could have shown up. I would
Why?
be too upset.
Mr. Dubin, your lawyer that was here.
Oh, he said I would have been too upset. Oh, God, this guy. I don't know why he didn't show up. Like, you already planned the murders and all that stuff. Like, the least you could have done was show up to the funeral and continue the act up.
Happened to him. There's no way I could have shown up. I would have been too upset.
Mr. Dubin, your lawyer that was here, seems like a long time ago at jury selection, said, you know, people have different ways of grieving and that sort of thing. Were you grieving for the death of Dan Markel?
I felt horrible about what happened, and I knew what happened.
When did you?
I wasn't close to him, but either way, I mean, I felt horrible about what happened.
Wait, so you weren't close to him. You felt horrible, but then you would have been too upset that he died. Excuse me? You been New Zealand for 8 months? Wait. Why? Oh my God, I've always want to go to New Zealand. Ah! What are you going to do in New Zealand? It's like for a vacation, for work stuff, family. I want to go to New Zealand. I hear it's so beautiful. Charlie was like a farmer in his past because he really likes to spread the manure. Wait, your mom is in New Zealand? What? Is it going to be a fun trip?
Did you find out exactly how he was killed? Meaning like shot twice in the head.
I found out, it would have been the next morning is how I found out he got shot in the head.
Do you agree that this was a first-degree murder?
Do I agree?
Planned, premeditated?
The people who killed him planned on killing him, yeah.
Do you think everyone involved should be convicted?
I think everyone involved should be convicted.
Even the person that hired the hit?
I think anybody who played a role in it, but I wasn't a part of it.
Do you regret that Dan Markel suffered for 14 hours before he died?
I feel horrible.
He was supposed to die quickly, instantly, right?
Are you asking me?
I am.
No, he wasn't supposed to die at all.
I don't think they felt horrible. I think they were in fear that Dan Markel could have somehow came back and done a fucking recovery. I think they're like, fuck, he needs to fucking die ASAP. I don't think they were like, yes, he's suffering. Yeah. I think they're just scared that he was going to fucking make it. Behavior panel. Oh, they did a video. What was the gist of it? Have we heard from him, from Jen Soto yet or anything like that? Probably not, right? Because her lawyer probably told her not to say anything, which is smart. You know, don't say nothing. Wait until the trial happens.
Horrible what happened.
Did it surprise you that the cops were able to identify the Prius?
Did it surprise me?
Yes.
I'm not a cop. I don't know how cops investigate.
Did it surprise you to learn that it's not a requirement of law to put the person at the scene of the crime to be guilty of a crime?
Listen, I'm not a police detective.
Was the police work in this case thorough?
I'm sure the police did the best they could.
Did you think that you had done everything properly such that you could never be detected or caught for this?
I wasn't part of this murder at all. You have it wrong.
Catherine Magbanua said that you think you're untouchable. Is that true, Doctor?
That's not true at all.
Did your parents drop off money to you on the night of the murder?
I never saw my parents there. You could look at our cell phones and you'll find that out, that we never saw each other.
I did look at the cell phones, and what is on there is your mom texts you, quote, outside your house. And
No, I mean, look at the tower information.
I think you
Oh, dude, yes, I heard about the Aaliyah thing. Yo, that shit was so fucked. It's crazy because, yeah, now I learned about all this in like hindsight. When I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, Aaliyah, you know, like, I don't know, I fucking loved her, but I didn't know any of that stuff that was happening with Aaliyah. It was probably publicized, but like I never paid attention to all the stuff. It was just like you just listen to her music, you get her CDs and all that stuff. You watch her on like BET, MTV. But yeah, I didn't realize about the Aaliyah and the girl. So, blah.
testified that meant she was just passing by on the roadway.
She was approaching the area, yeah, to see if I was home.
All right, and do you know what your response was to her text?
Yeah, like 20 or 30 minutes later, I said 10 minutes.
I'm 10 minutes out, is what you
I
said.
think I said 10 minutes, but Yeah, I'm not home.
Doesn't that indicate you're going to meet them at your house in 10 minutes?
No, I told her to let me know when you're going to be in the area.
Was the money that Catherine Magbanua got damp?
I never gave her any money that was damp. The money I gave her came out of my safe.
Was it damp?
It was the money that your mama gave him.
No, I took it out of my safe. I put it on the dresser. She put it in her purse.
Why did Garcia and Rivera, or whoever did it, I guess I should say, why did whoever did it need to kill someone to extort you?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta ask them.
Well, why couldn't they just come put a gun to your head and say, give me all the money in your safe?
Exactly, Charlie. Exactly. Why commit a crime and then threaten him with it? Why not just be like, hey, fucking just pay up? Because he was saying that the reason why he paid up was because he didn't want them to do what they did to Dan Markel, to him. And it's like, well, we know the hitmen aren't smart, but like for them to do this whole extra mile of actually killing someone all the way in Fort Lauderdale, or sorry, all the way in Tallahassee, drive 6 hours twice, by the way, do that twice, drive all the way back and forth. Why not just extort him directly? And then, you know what? Why would Catherine Magbanua, why would she be like, hey, you know, like, give me your dad's old ass fucking crusty vehicle. Give me the Lamborghini. I want the Lamborghini. Give me the Lamborghini. Right? I don't know. Like, this is so funny. Just see him squirm and sit there. Oh my God. We are relishing in it.
Need to kill someone to extort you.
You gotta ask them.
Well, why couldn't they just come put a gun to your head and say, give me all the money in your safe?
Thank God they did.
Thank God they didn't?
Thank God they did. I would have gotten killed.
Why would you have gotten killed if you gave him the money?
If Garcia hated you, why would he drive to Tallahassee twice to kill someone you hated?
Mm-hmm. It sounds like he was part of the extortion, or Katie put him up to it.
Doesn't blackmail or extortion usually involve the extortionist having some kind of dirt on the victim?
I know how this was done to me. I know I'm just telling you what happened to me. I'm not an expert in it.
If they had come in and threatened to kill you,
I think damp money could be a good one, but I think moist money, I think it rolls off the tongue a little bit better.
would you have given them the money in your safe?
If someone came and put a gun to my head, yeah, I would have opened up my safe and I would give them the money.
I still don't get how killing Dan Markel advances the ball for them to extort money out of you. Do you?
Yeah, I have a theory. They could extort me for life, and I don't think they knew exactly how much I had in the safe. She knew I had a lot of money in the safe. But this way I could get extorted for life, and that's what happened. And I was stuck paying $3,000 a month.
But you could have gotten extorted for life just by the threat of death by Latin King, couldn't you, Doctor?
I mean, this was as real a threat as you get. I mean, these guys aren't messing around.
All right, you didn't report this after Garcia was arrested, did you? Did not report this after Garcia's arrest?
No, not at all.
Okay, you did keep paying Catherine Magbanua after Garcia's arrest?
No, I never saw her again.
Did not report this after Magbanua's arrest, correct?
Correct.
Did not testify in either of their trials, correct?
Was never contacted to, but yes.
You were okay with the possibility of them getting away with killing Dan Markel?
I thought the truth was going to come out in 2009.
So funny. It's so obvious that this lie was fabricated after all the pieces of the puzzles had already been revealed. And that's when he decided to fabricate this story.
19.
How? If the witness who knows something doesn't
In retrospect.
come forward?
Katie knows what happens and knows I was extorted, and her trial was in 19, and I was expecting the truth to come out then. And instead, I found out that she was having this affair with him on me, and she lied, and all this money was going to her.
So if her defense had been, I was an innocent conduit to an extortion, you would have backed her up on that?
If she would have come in and told the truth, and yeah, for sure, you would have heard the same story.
Where is your family located now? You don't have to be specific, but is your mom and dad, are they still in South Florida?
Is money in America made out of paper? I always heard that it was very similar to like a jean material. So for example, when you wash money, it won't fall apart into pieces, right? It's like a jean material that's like woven into it. So you can wash money and it'll be completely fine.
Yeah, they still live in South Florida.
Okay, what about Wendy and the boys?
My parents live about 30.
Ew, Soggy Wallet. What is Soggy Wallet? It's like a porn star name.
45 minutes from my sister, and I used to live about 45 minutes from them.
And are they okay, as far as you know, physically, today, as we sit here?
Yes.
And are you concerned that because you've told now on the Latin Kings that they're going to come kill your whole family?
I mean, I just told you that I knew that, was told then that Luis Rivera, the head of the Latin Kings, killed Dan Markel. So, I mean, I do have some concern when I get out.
Right, but even
after me.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I said I do have some concern for Latin Kings now that I've spoken, told what I know.
But what about, I mean...
This is Donna's nickname in prison. Soggy wallet. What? Oh, God.
Rivera was already in custody at one point, as well as Garcia and Ibano. My understanding is your continued fear was due to other Latin Kings, potentially. Is that accurate?
These are highly connected people. Luis Rivera, the head of the Latin Kings, in custody means absolutely nothing. If you think he can't send somebody from the outside, you're wrong.
All right. So,
Dude, the way that he says that with so much confidence.
so my question to you is, did that happen? Because you told yesterday,
Was I killed yesterday when I was in jail? No.
and nobody in your family has been killed so far.
You're talking about in the last 24 hours?
Right.
Not that I know.
Okay. But you're worried about that.
I think now that I've spoken, I do have a concern, yes.
Okay. But not too concerned to remain silent when it's your own butt on the line, right?
I'm here to tell the truth. And yes, do I have a concern now that I told you what happened? Absolutely.
I think Charlie be watching way too many movies and taking way too much from movies.
Tell the truth. And yes, do I have a concern now that I told you what happened? Absolutely.
Mom tells you on that first wire call that the bump involves the two of us, referring to yourself and your mom, right?
Yes, that's what she said.
And would you agree, prior to your explanation, that that looks pretty incriminating?
Man, how mad is he at the mom, the sister, for just opening their mouths, fucking shit up?
I think if you don't know what happened, you can assume the worst.
Isn't it true that you had to add the bit about confiding your extortion in your mom in order to put that toothpaste back in the tube?
No, that's what happened when I got the
Because-
checks.
Otherwise, why would you bring your mom into this?
I didn't want to. When I first told her on the phone and asked her to write the checks, I told her, I said just it's a long story, I'd brush it off, and she didn't press anything, but I think she was out somewhere. It wasn't until when I picked up the checks that she started pressuring me and saying, this makes no sense, why are you doing this, you're not dating Katie, and that's when she found out.
But your mom is the most high-strung out of the whole group, right?
True. Why would you involve her in this?
And she's old, and she worries, right?
I don't think she's super high-strung, but she
She old. You know, I think she was supposed to say she crusty.
does worry about her
You
kids.
don't?
No. You've never met her.
Well, you said she was, quote, notorious for making a big deal out of everything.
I mean, she overreacts, but she's a mom. I think a lot of moms overreact.
Okay. You could have told her, you know, Katie's down on her luck, and I'm just going to be putting her on the payroll. I mean, you were making enough money, you could tell her to just write checks, couldn't you? Why'd you have to tell her it was an extortion from Latin King gang members?
Well, okay, at that time I didn't know anything about the Latin Kings, but when I told her what happened, I was thinking that, you know what, it actually would be good if someone knows what happened in case I get killed. They at least know what direction to start looking in.
What?
So until that point, nobody even knew. So I just, when she started questioning me, I just said, you know what, I'm going to tell you, but don't say a thing to Dad. Don't say a thing to Wendy. You got to promise me. I didn't want her to ever talk about this again. And that was the day that she found out. It was when I got the checks.
What
I read that as never would I have guessed Donna was a Kraken.
she doesn't say on the wire is, it's happening again. I was approached by another extortionist today. Did she say that?
No, she's talking very carefully.
And you say carefully, but isn't carefully the same thing as code?
No, they're two totally separate things. You know the difference?
You weren't really giving her money for a TV, were you?
Giving her money for TV.
This TV is probably going to be about $5. I
Okay.
need you to bring cash tonight.
I wish she picked another object on planet Earth other than TV. But TV is code for absolutely nothing. There is no code in this case involving TV. And you keep circling and circling and circling TV, you're wrong.
Is it a coincidence that the repair of the TV that you bought Wendy as a divorce gift because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman is your sister's alibi for the murder, and then your mom brings up TV first call on the wire?
It's not an alibi for a murder. She had a broken TV. You got to ask Lincoln who threw the remote at the TV.
Was it a coincidence? Is the TV thing a coincidence? That's what I hear you say.
Oh, they're trying to blame the kid. Lincoln is one of Wendy's kids.
that the repairman was there that day?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a coincidence for sure. There's a
And
couple
all
of
the-
coincidences in this case.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I said there's a couple of coincidences in this case. I mean, she had people send her an email to go buy a bottle of Bullet Bourbon for their Stock the Bar party, and she was driving to a liquor store to buy a bottle of Bullet Bourbon on that day, at that time, and her friend sent the email, and you have the email in evidence. Like,
And I feel like how dumb must it have been for them to fail to put this into practice? So I imagine Charlie and then Donna trying to like amp Wendy up. Like, okay, Wendy, we're going to have you throw a remote at the TV. Okay, Wendy, break it. And Wendy's like, I can't. It's too hard. Throw it harder, Wendy. Throw it harder. Break the TV. Because I don't know if I believe that Wendy's kids actually broke the TV. I feel like it was probably Wendy. She probably broke it herself. That way they can have the whole repair TV bullshit alibi thing happen. Like, oh my God, this is so cringe.
Is that a coincidence? Yeah, coincidences happen.
And that you might not be the right.
What does high strung mean? Like kind of like anal retentive. Charlie, just say your mom was a biatch. We already. Yeah, like yeah, anal retentive. Kind of like you're really like what's another word for it? Easy to be stressed about stuff like that.
Katie talk. That doesn't seem to really fit with your theory of the case, does it? What was your explanation for that? Why you kept saying you might not be the right Katie? I mean, she's definitely the right Katie, right?
Absolutely. She knew it was. I was implying it was her. I was just trying to say, I'm not setting you up, but I need your help.
On call B, your mom, you call your mom back, and you say, probe her a little bit, and ultimately you say, you think someone's trying to blackmail you? That's crazy. Why does it sound like this is something that's new and unfathomable to you at that moment?
Well, because I wasn't even following what my mom was talking about on the first call. And on the second call, when she shocked me when she said that. And I'd been extorted before. And her saying to bring cash, everything just didn't sound right.
Could we play clip 4, please? This is from Dolce.
Oh, here comes the clip.
Clip 4 from Dolce.
I'm going to slow it down. I could barely hear it.
Even if they had any evidence, the first words out of your mouth on this clip, even if they had any evidence. No. Strike. The quote is, if they had any evidence, we'd have already gone to the airport. And I know you already testified about this, but...
If they had any evidence to go to the airport. Look who tried to go to the airport and didn't make it. I think they said the same thing, too, in the jailhouse calls.
But does an innocent person say, if they had any evidence?
Right. Katie's saying it's the police, and I'm saying that we're innocent. They're not going to have any evidence to show we were part of something that we were part of. If we had any part of this, we'd be going to the airport right now. And I
Isn't
still say
it
the
true,
same
doctor,
thing.
that they're not going to have any evidence because you were careful?
No, because we weren't a part of this.
You were smart.
No, we weren't a part of this.
You walled yourself off from
I was
the
sure
killers.
they're not going to have evidence to show I did something I didn't do. So we're not running to the airport.
And you're untouchable, right?
No, we didn't do a murder. I wasn't part of a murder. There's no reason to run to the airport.
Oh, I love Liar Liar. My mom bought me a Liar Liar when I was in, I don't know, I was in like middle school, I think. Oh my God. Remember the scene where he was like banging the secretary, or he was banging someone and they were playing it? Wait, no, there was 2 parts. Sorry. There was one where his it was a recording of the client banging the guy that she was cheating with. And then there was a scene where his boss was like having sex with him or something like that. Oh my God. I can't believe I watched that when I was a kid. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on though. I just thought the whole thing was really funny.
In the next clip, you're discussing what's going to happen if this person that did the bump goes to the police. And you're going through all these scenarios, these possibilities.
Wait, if he goes to the police?
Yeah, the blackmailer goes to the police. They're going to say, where's the weapon? And he's not going to know. He's just going to have hearsay, basically. Someone told me they did it, and it's not going to be enough to get the investigation anywhere. Why are you thinking through the possibility of the blackmailer going to the cops if the blackmailer doesn't have any dirt on you to take to the cops?
I wasn't thinking about the blackmailer. What I was trying to say is I don't know anything about Sigfredo. I don't know anything about this crime. I was trying to tell her that I'm harmless. I don't have any knowledge of what went on. Like, the last thing I wanted is that now that she's saying it's the police, is someone to come and kill me and think I'm some kind of loose end. So that's why I'm saying that.
But that's not what you're saying. You're saying if this is a person that Luis Rivera ran his mouth to, and they go to the police, it's going to be worth 0 because they're not going to know anything other than, hey, my brother told me this.
I don't know if I was saying someone who knows Luis Rivera. I was trying to make a point that I don't know anything.
And then you suggest what they would have to do is get him to wear a wire and get the person to confess, and that's probably what this could be, an effort to do, right?
Well, they're thinking that we were part of a murder, so this was the same thing I said before, is that this is their theory, so this is a police tactic, and it could be either a bad guy or the police, and this is how they're pursuing it.
Yeah, this is like a very like Amber Heard moment when you have audio recordings that are pretty clear and cut, straightforward, and then you go up there and testify and you try to give like a contrived explanation of it, and people are just like, the dots are not connecting.
Exactly. So as long as you keep your mouth shut, you can get away with murder, right?
No, not at all.
Isn't that what you told Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, Ryan Fitzpatrick is someone who stole over $500,000 from me.
That's not my question, sir.
Who's
Did
that?
you say that to Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No, never at all.
Did Ryan Fitzpatrick also extort him for money as well? Did I eat yet? No, I will eat soon after the stream. I'm getting hungry though. I open the stream and first thing I hear is everyone begging everyone else. We're talking about the Liar Liar movie. It was one of my favorite movies. So good.
Why do you go into so much detail about rental car examples? Let's strike that. Can you agree that the Prius, you knew that the police were looking for a Prius at the time you met at this Dolce Vita restaurant?
I think it had been released at that time.
All right, and you heard the recording. You're arguing. Let's play the clip. This is going to be clip. I think let's play 7 and 8, please. Dolce.
Oh, here we go. I don't know. I feel like I could barely hear these clips. But I've watched them and heard them before in like other YouTube videos.
Because the fact is like, even if, let's say, you just got in my car, and then I go ahead and I get in the car, and then I go, when you're getting in the car, I go, yeah, she was in my car, and she got out, and she did this horrible crime. Okay, if they come and they get the DNA in the car, they go, yep, she was in my car. He sat in the car for 2 minutes, got the AC, and then got out of the car. He has nothing to do with you guys murdering me. Outside of that,
Oh, Ink, thank you. Ink, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the membership. Enjoy your emotes. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you.
there's no evidence. Okay? You know, if you have a car and you can link this person to renting that car that you crime, okay. But you have to prove that they were also driving that day and rented it and lent it to a friend. What if you rented a car and I go, Katie, can I borrow it for the weekend? I'll bring it back on Tuesday.
Oh, this is where when he's talking to Katie, I believe. I think that's her right there.
You go, yeah, sure. So you rented a car. You've been in that car. I drive into fucking Orlando. I rob McDonald's in Orlando. I come back and I go, here's the keys, Katie. And okay, thanks. And if you rented it, but what if you were fucking out all weekend and you didn't even know I took your car? I did something and I brought it back. Okay. My point is, I don't have any knowledge of it. Evidently, this person is either pretending to or does. I don't want someone paying visit.
Oh, I think he's so smart.
Sounds like you're saying even if they track down the Prius, even if there's DNA or fingerprints in the Prius, meaning like they can link someone to the Prius, that's not going to be enough evidence to make any arrests in this case. Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. What I'm doing is I'm restating.
You've answered my question.
Can I give you an
On redirect, you'll have an opportunity.
Well,
My question was.
One moment.
My question
We're not
was-
just wildly arguing. Mr. Adelson, please answer the question.
okay.
I can just ask you a yes or no question.
Please allow me to
and
answer your question.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Help yourself out.
What I was saying to Katie is that the information she had just told me in the car about Sigfredo not being there when the crime was committed, she told me that Sigfredo was high on drugs at the hotel and that Luis had rented a car and that he's the one who killed Dan. And I'm restating to her that I don't have any knowledge of what went on and that all I know is that Sigfredo wasn't even there when this happened. So that's what I'm restating to her.
That Sigfredo can't be caught even if he's connected to the crime, to the car?
I know that Sigfredo wasn't the one who killed Dan.
Okay. wouldn't it be good for you, because you know now that Sigfredo is the extortionist, right? She just told you that in the car?
Sigfredo, yeah.
Okay. And wouldn't it be good for you if the police investigation into the Prius led to the arrest of the killers/extortionists?
If they arrested the people that killed Dan,
Yeah.
I know the extortion would stop. As long as I kept my mouth shut, I'd be safe.
Right. So why are you trying to argue to her that, like, the car is not going to lead anywhere? They're not going to be able to do anything with the car.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I know that Sigfredo wasn't the one who killed him.
Did you say on this recording, if they're a bad guy, there's two ways of dealing with it? Go ahead and contact the police. They'll contact him, the blackmailer, and arrange a setup. Take him down, and he'll proffer 10 years, and now tell us everything you know, or else you're going to serve 10 years in prison. Next thing you know, this person is singing. He's calling out your name. My parents are going to have to tell the story of what happened. Singing about what? About the extortion?
No, I think you're reading it wrong. I know the audible is bad.
What would
Are those the words?
Yes, sir. What would the...
Yeah, I'm surprised that the judge didn't admonish him again afterwards. How's your day going, Deadpool?
The extortionist, and now I'm referring to the one that contacted your mother.
The Latin King extortion.
Well, they're both Latin kings, right?
The second extortion.
What would they have to sing about?
The second extortion would be singing and talking about the first extortion, where they learned their information from.
Who cares? That doesn't have anything to do with you.
Well, when they catch the first extortion, Katie's tied to them and I'm tied to Katie. They're going to come talk to us, and we're going to be in danger when we tell them what happened. So I was saying if they catch the second, they're going to turn in on the first, and that's the same thing I said yesterday.
You gave very precise instructions to Catherine Magbanua on what she was to say when she calls the phone number, right?
Yeah,
Did you do that?
Absolutely.
And then you say, quote, "You'd better kill him because he's going to be a big problem. And he knows who you are. If he can't do it, I'll have someone else do it." Aren't you telling her that if Garcia can't handle this problem and kill whoever's behind this, you will have someone else do it?
You're reading it totally wrong.
It's a yes or no question, sir.
No, you're wrong.
When Dan Markel's murder was taking too long to happen, didn't you tell Catherine Magbanua that if she couldn't get it done, you would find someone else to do it?
No, I've never said that either.
And then you say in the recording, I'm back to Dolce now, yeah, and guess what? When the effing police show up and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member, and
I remember this. And they were like, he was like, well, who are they going to believe, me or the dead gang member? And I think that's exactly the mindset that he had going to this trial. The mindset that he had, Donna had. They're like, hey, we're affluent white people, Miami, we're doctors. Pfft, they're not going to accuse us of doing this shit. This is some dirty work shit.
When the effing police show up and there's a doctor, there's an oral surgeon standing there with a dead gang member in his effing driveway, they're not going to come down too hard on me. So you knew you'd be believed if you went to the police, right?
I didn't know I'd be believed, but I feared for my life.
And then you say, so help me God, if they fuck with my family, it's going to be fucking Nazi shit. Because this will be done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Katie, I don't care what I spend, okay? I swear to God. What is Nazi shit?
That's an expression that Katie would use to describe someone that's going crazy. I think the Nazis were absolutely crazy people. So I'm saying I'm going to get somebody to go crazy on the guy that's trying to extort my mom for money. I'll pay someone to go threaten him and to scare him. I was not talking about killing anybody.
Well, you say the word kill. Yes?
No. Oh, when you're putting the words in my mouth, well, we can do that sentence.
Do you say the word kill?
I'm talking about if Sigfredo's coming after you, he's such a dangerous guy, you'd have to kill him to stop him. That's the only thing you could do. I'm not talking about killing the extorter. I'm talking second extortion.
Okay.
I'm saying that if Sigfredo's coming after you, the only thing that you could do is you'd have to kill him to stop him. I'm not talking about killing anybody. I'm talking about that's the only way that you could stop Sigfredo from coming after you is you would have to kill him. And that's exactly what I said there.
And by the way, Sigfredo coming up back here, $5K. All he wanted was $5K.
You're wrong. That's exactly what I said.
All right, thank you. Nazis kill, right? Isn't that like their primary objective?
No, I think Nazis are insane, crazy people.
That exterminate, right?
That kill, yes, but they're crazy. That was an expression she would use, and that's when I used it to her. But it's basically saying I'm gonna have somebody go crazy on this guy. I could have used the word crazy. I thought it was interchangeable.
Isn't what you're doing here in this portion of the tape feeling her out to make sure Garcia doesn't have any bad feelings toward you?
When I said it, yeah, I thought he could have been behind the second extortion. I think I've said that before.
And you go into like how your relationships didn't overlap, you never disrespected him, and you mentioned that, you know, you don't think that they, I assume you mean these other people, associates that have contacted your mom, would want to mess with his connections, right? Remember?
You're talking about the copycat extortion.
Right. And then you ask if he's too far removed, or can he still make a call? Are you referring to Garcia in that?
Yeah, exactly.
So can Garcia make a call to try to figure out who this is?
Okay, Garcia helped stop the second extortion. Someone's doing a piggyback extortion on the first. That's exactly what I said.
On the topic of conversation for Catherine Magbanua, don't you say, I look for things to do, I show you, that's the difference. You don't ask me for shit. You said all those things, right?
Absolutely, because that's proven what I've been saying all along, is that I didn't think she was part of this, so I was doing things to keep her happy from time to time. Ethan's birthday I brought up there. I gave her $300. I helped her out with the car when her car was broken, for sure.
And then you say, listen, you giving somebody money is not an admission of any kind of guilt. Would paying the money have made her look guilty?
That's what she was saying to me. She said it's the police. You can't pay the police. They're going to think you were part of a murder and they're going to arrest you.
But if it was an extortionist, it could have created a monster, right?
And if you don't pay the extortionist, you could get killed.
So when
Or you
these
could keep getting
guys...
extorted.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said if you don't pay the extortionist, you could get killed, or you could keep getting extorted.
But your main concern was that if we pay, this guy will think I'm an ATM machine, right? He'll keep coming back again and again and again. Don't you articulate that to Catherine Magbanua?
Exactly.
If it was an extorter, that was one of the concerns. The other,
And it's like, well, why were you concerned about having to pay this guy over and over again? And I mean, you were already doing it, weren't you? Weren't you already doing it the first time?
concern was not paying him and getting killed.
But what you say is, well, I don't remember the quote exactly. The main concern, what I'm most worried about, is that they're going to keep coming back for more, right?
I don't remember using the word the main concern.
But what you don't say in here is like what you or your homies have been doing to me for 2 years.
Of course not. I don't want her to think I'm setting her up.
Why are you explaining extortion and how extortion works to Catherine Magbanua?
In there?
Yeah.
Because I know.
But she knows too, doesn't she?
So I repeat myself. I do that.
True. If she was the one who's doing the extorting, why are you trying to explain to her what extorting means? Oh my lord.
So explain it to your mother how extortion works, and has known about it for 2 years too, right?
From what I told her, yeah.
Doesn't add up. The pieces are falling.
I'm reminding her.
Falling apart.
Then you say, if someone's messing with you, they're messing with me. And if someone's messing with me, they're messing with you. It's one and the same, right?
Yes, I said that.
You're in this together, right?
We're both innocent.
Should we watch Jeff Lacoste's testimony?
You were very obviously relieved on the wire when you came to the conclusion that this was law enforcement. Would you agree with that?
Very relieved, yeah.
All right. And at that same time that on the wire you're expressing relief, or I should say, shortly after all the relief expressed on the wire, we've got the arrest of Catherine Magbanua, right?
No.
No. Okay. Would you agree that it goes relief on the wire, then arrest of Catherine Magbanua?
Do you want to give me dates? Because Kathy was arrested 6 months later.
Okay.
The
Can
wire
we
was in
agree
April,
that
she was
you were
arrested in
very
October.
relieved on the wire, and that 6 months later, Catherine Magbanua was arrested?
She was arrested 6 months later, correct?
And 6 months later, after you were completely relieved on the wire, you begin to exhibit these extreme behavior changes that we've heard about. And what is your explanation for that?
Because I thought I'd be falsely arrested.
Oh man, I feel like every time she's turning the pages, this makes him so nervous. George's like, hold on a second. I got you.
Did you encourage Catherine Magbanua to reconcile with Garcia? That's a yes or no.
Yes, for sure I did.
Was that
Oh, thanks, Nicole.
a good decision for her or a good decision for you?
Neither.
You've heard your lawyer say that you talk a lot. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
And you talk a lot on the wire, right?
Yes, I do.
On the wire, the jailhouse calls.
Do you agree you're not a direct person?
My direct person?
There's a lot of circular talking on the wire.
However you want to describe my mannerisms of talking, you're welcome to describe them.
I'll do that in closing. What I'm asking is, do you agree that you are like that?
I think at times I'm direct, for sure.
Do you have a way of saying things without really saying it?
No, I think I'm pretty direct with things.
Do you think you can talk your way out of this?
No, I don't. I'm not part of a murder.
Who are they going to believe, right? An oral surgeon or a gangster?
That's extorting me in my driveway and coming and threatening me?
I feel like his hairline's receding by every question.
You're untouchable, right?
No, I'm not part of this murder.
There was a lot of talk about going to the police on the wire, which I think we've well established did not happen. But you've always gone to the police before, right?
I've had other things that I've gone to the police for, yeah.
You've gone to the police in reference to something to do with your child's mother? Yes or no?
Yes.
You've gone to the police when you were threatened to be blackmailed over something with a woman back in 2015. Remember that?
No, I didn't go to the police.
Did you send a letter from your lawyer indicating that describing her actions as an attempted shakedown and indicating that not only will Dr. Adelson never pay a settlement.
Oh my God. Wait, who is this woman? This is in 2015 too. Wait, who was this woman? Oh, child's mother? Wait, what?
But you've always gone to the police before, right?
I've had other things that I've gone to the police for, yeah.
You've gone to the police in reference to something to do with your child's mother? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oral surgeon during the day. Gangster during the day, but mama's boys always.
You've gone to the police when you were threatened to be blackmailed over something with a woman back in 2015. Remember that?
No, I didn't go to the police.
Did you send a letter from your lawyer indicating that describing her actions as an attempted shakedown and indicating that not only will Dr. Adelson never pay a settlement, he
what does she have on him? Who is this woman?
will undoubtedly prevail and seek attorney's fees against your client.
Right, that's a civil complaint, and somebody was making an unfounded civil complaint and threatening filing a lawsuit, and an attorney handled the civil complaint. The police were never notified. But it was a civil suit.
It was somebody trying to shake you down for money.
It was a unfounded claim from a civil suit to me and another dentist that it was involving.
It was a claim that potentially had criminal implications as well, wasn't it, Doctor?
For me?
Yes.
No. There was never a police investigation with that.
In 2018, did you report an aggravated assault where a vehicle was driving aggressively and narrowly avoided striking you?
I had a reporter almost kill my 10-week-old puppy dog that I was walking because I was going for a walk in the morning and he was stalking outside my house.
In 2018, did you report an aggravated assault where a vehicle was driving aggressively and narrowly avoided striking
I feel like he threw the puppy dog part in just to get like sympathy.
you?
He was more able to hit my dog too, but yeah.
Do your nephews deserve to know the whole truth about who killed their father?
Yeah, now they do.
Do Danny's parents deserve to know what happened to their son?
Absolutely.
And you say you knew. I mean, you now say you knew a big piece of what happened, right?
Yes.
Do you feel bad about not volunteering that to Danny's parents?
I feel a sense of relief that now I was able to tell everybody what finally happened.
Yesterday. Almost 10 years later, right?
Yeah.
And that's because you didn't just know a big piece of it. You were a big piece of it, weren't you, Doctor?
I was extorted and I knew a lot, yeah.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
No, wait, what? That's it? That's it? We want more of Georgia. Is there a redirect? Wait, I want to know what happened in the civil suit. What were they alleging? I bet you can find it. Oh, what county was it in? Where are they in again? They're in like the rich area, right? Like Coral Gables, Fort Lauderdale or something like that. Oh my Lord. I love listening to Georgia try this case. Her closing argument is like 2 hours long. Do I want to listen to 2 hours long closing argument? All right, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Yeah, Georgia. I mean, we're gonna see Georgia again when Mrs. Donald Adelson goes up there. We'll get more of Georgia.